Hello, greetings, welcome, beloved human family. I am Gilles Mancillon. Welcome to my channel. I just want to come and say hello, to offer guidance, to pull out a few cards to see what guidance from the angels that we may receive today. Angels are divine beings of light. They're from higher planes, yet they are fulfilling many functions for us. From an invisible perspective. For understand angels, you have a guardian angel who's a divine being who's protecting your destiny. The angels are usually the go-between you and all the other spirits. So the more you are in contact with your guardian angel, the more you are able to have some kind. First, you have to trust, but to be more aware on this ability to commune with communicate and commune with the spirit realm. For I understand, angels are very subtle beings, but they in relationship to humans, they are extremely intelligent, and they have a great sense of humor. So do not be afraid to call on your angels, to talk to your angels, to work with the angels. For the angels work really well together, a lot better than humans do. And so I'm going to pull 10 cards and says that what is the situation today is the same as in my French reading. It is about recomfort, but being comforted, to look for comfort, to look for comfort in each other, to comfort in one, to find a way to feel good. So it is important to allow ourselves to let go of all those old things in order to give ourselves the time to regenerate our energy within that comforting energy. What surrounds the situation is the idea of family. It is this sacred bond. Marriage may be a human institution, but family is a divine institution. For we are bonded through. We are in truth one human family. We'll come to realize in the human rights, the first article of the human rights says that we have to be fraternal in relationship to one another. So at which point we should have stopped all war, because there is no fraternity when we want to destroy each other. So, but I don't want to move out of the idea is to reconnect to our soul family, to those people that are so close to us, that vibrate on the same frequency, that share our dreams, our desire, our sense of self, and so the more we are that will create this strength, this unity. For what we see before us is unity. It is the idea of unity. The greater our sense of love and unity, the greater our expansion of our consciousness will become. For life is one. Yet it is separated by time and space. Energy, matter, everything is separated by time and space. And so it is about reconnecting to that sense of unity. What we see in the deep subconscious in the past is justice. So we understand the sense of balance, the sense of equality, equanimity, and we have to be fair in our judgment, not to be too severe, yet to know where we draw the line in order to find this comfort, this recomfort. Where we are now is trust. It's the card of trust, confiance. Confiance is trust. We have to trust the universe. We have to trust the process. We have to trust God. We have to trust ourselves, our soul, our higher self. And what is coming up in the near future is serenity. It's the ability to be serene, to be in a state when you're serene, or in a state of bliss. It is like there is no expectation of the future, nothing from the past that comes to disturb our peace. And so this inner peace is the most precious thing we can find, but yet we cannot buy that. We have to create it. We have to work with all the forces, deactivating all the tension and all the polarities that can still be here. I'm going to discuss a bit of that. What we are in this situation, and the strengths we have in this situation is courage. Courage, the best way to express our courage is to act upon our intuition. But it's also to perfect our character every day, in every way. We have to find ways to get better and better. Because if we do not do that, we may be going backwards without knowing it. So the best way to not go backward is to move forward with the perfection of our courage, our lucidity, and our compassion. What we see in the outside world is humility. It is a sense of humility. It is a violet fire flame. So it is a sense of humbleness, but humbleness does not mean weakness. Humbleness means to there is no need for warning to overstep anyone. We have to be very careful of the false prophet, those who will pretend that they have solutions for you. For I will always tell you, your own heart has the solution for you. I'm just giving you guidance in relationship to that. But there are people that are very powerful. They have a powerful power of seduction. They draw their power from below in order to enslave humanity. And so we have to disconnect to all those outside forces. And what we see in our emotion, in our hopes and fear, is optimism. For we have to stay joyful, we have to stay optimist, and as we do that, we stay focused on that. Things flow a lot faster to us. And the outcome for this reading is écoute, which means listening, the ability to hear. Life is always talking to you. God is always talking to you each and every day. Your guides are talking to you. You have to decipher what is superficial communication from what is deep communication. But life is one, and Spirit will use everything to communicate. So always be aware that beyond the conscious level of humans, there is a deeper communication that is always able to pass through as we open our mind, our possibility to communicate to the spirit world. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I'm going to discuss a few things. Like I wanted to say, in my message, it is some things are relative, they are subject to interpretations, others are not. It's a bit like in the right beginning of the Quran, Allah says, God says that some things are temporal situation, relative to temporal situation, but others are not. So you have to use discernment, you have to discern for yourself what is true. There is a lot of discussion about fake news. For most of what is communicated through the mainstream media is fake news. It is not. It is created to keep people in fear, in submission to some kind of outside forces, so they can accept the program. It is good to be like Spinoza, to trust in God. For when we move into the state of lucidity, we see all kinds of corruption, all kinds of deception, all kinds of darker things that is happening behind the veil, but it is not really of our business. We have to ask God that those things be disassembled, that the light comes out in for all to see, and that all those things disappear. But it is not until we are called to do something, it is not for us to do anything. It is better to stay serene, because evolution has to go through a collective awakening. It cannot be just me. I'm gonna distinguish the light. It has to be I can distinguish the light within the darkness within my own sphere of light, but I cannot do that for all people until the people who are awakened to this light. And there is a great deal of awakening, more and more all around the world. There is a great deal of awakening, and we're all awakening to higher level of consciousness. And so it is good to learn that you can free yourself. First you have to free yourself, and then from there all that come to you for that freedom will be able to share in that freedom. And so you have to trust the law of because there is a law of karma. Everything that is distorted will be reflected back to us. So understand that everybody is subjected to that law. Even those who do not know the law will have to be facing it. So it is important to integrate that and to be serene, not to be always feeling like you have to fight against the darkness that is also proeminent, still proeminent. I wanted to speak. I wanted to say also that you may call on the Christ. The Christ is more than an individual. It is the whole company of heaven. Is in this Christic energy. It is a universal energy. It is the energy of the teacher. But there is a spirit being that was named Jesus on the earth, whose now name is Sananda. You may call on him. It will be of great assistance to you. It is beloved brother. He has got incredible wisdom and love to share, but you need to call on him. Sananda is the name that was given to him. Is the admiral of all angelic legion and all galactic plane. The galactic plane being fifth and sixth dimension. And you may call on Commander Ashtar also for assistance. Those are our beloved friends. You can trust them 100%. You may call on them, establish a connection with them. They will come in assistance. And I wanted to speak also about the fact that most light workers have always been interested, or those who are, came here as star seeds, those who came here as assistants to the planet, were always been interested in science fiction. For we live in a world that is so limited. Science fiction is a way to open our mind to higher understanding. As Einstein says, imagination is more powerful than knowledge. And there is two sides to science fiction. There is science fiction that was created by the dark forces, in order to condition humanity to fear this first contact, to fear the galactic community, such as Alien or War of the Worlds or Independence Day. Those were created specifically to keep the world in fear and postpone the first contact, which it is inevitable. It will happen eventually when humanity will be ready. It will be a magnificent event. The whole skies of the whole planet will be filled with light ships of different colors. It will be the greatest show on earth, and it will change the world forever. But until we're ready for that, it might come in a few years. There may be some signs of that, but there is also some very powerful movies that were done to open humanity to greater understanding about the extraterrestrial community, such as Stargate, Avatar, Cocoon, Contact, Matrix. Avatar is a wonderful movie. It was about the ecology. Those people are connected to their world, and when they kill an animal to eat it, they send their soul back to the animal, to the earth, and they only keep the body, which we do not know how to do that yet. They know they are so connected, so much in unison with their planets. We have to relearn to respect our planet. All the floods and the volcanoes and all those things is the lack of consciousness. The earth has to release this tension from the lack of consciousness. We want to send love and light, so pray for those who are going through some difficulties through that. Matrix was also a very, very powerful revelator. It is somewhat of a lesser explanation of the cavern of Plato. Plato was not to come out of the matrix in order to find the soul, but here it is about being free from the conditioning, the matrix, and so we have to become the singularity that is find the point of freedom in relationship to that matrix. There is all kinds of other philosophical ideas that have been added in the number 2 and number 3 of Matrix. Contact was also recommended. It's a beautiful movie from Carl Sagan about the first contact, and there is of course Star Trek. The series Star Trek is there's a 6 or 7 series. I lived in America. I used to follow Star Trek. I love Star Trek, and the Prime Directive is a galactic Prime Directive, the non-interference law. You don't impose your law on an inferior culture. You have to wait for things for being to be ready to receive something. And right now we have for Star Trek we have to say that they invented the medical imagery. They invented that in the 60s. Then it was taken by the medical corps to create those imageries. The only shows that had a powerful impact on the science of civilization. They invented the cell phone in the 1960s. Kirk already had those phones that you open and they invented the PC, the little PC in the 70s. They already had those personal computers, and then in the next generation they had the tablets, and that now we have, and soon we're gonna have the holodeck. We're gonna have the replicators. We're gonna have the teletransporters. All those things are in the works to be coming. The understanding is that our sense of ethic has to grow proportionally to the revelation of technology. Otherwise, we will misuse technology. The first galactic technology that was given was the 3D printers. For the first thing, those 3D printer is like just a test of what the future galactic technology will bring. So the replicators transform the energy of light in consumer product. But the first thing that human did was to make guns and weapons with this technology. So they were not. So it's like, well, we gotta wait until they're ready to give more. But now they're starting to build housing, and they're starting to use it for the highest good of mankind. In many sense, we have to respect the program of God. We have to understand all this has to go through a slow process of evolution, and every being and everything has to grow through the process. So it will all come in due time. It is just a matter of allowing ourselves to be free and not to be too triggered by all those darker things, yet as the light has to be guided in relationship. When you see something really dark and you have the power to bring the light into it, you have to do it. It is your responsibility, but yet it is not your responsibility to address everything or to put your nose into other people's business. So it is important to discern into what needs to be done and what needs to be done. And as the Master of Wisdom Thoth says, there is three powers that is given to men: the power to transmute evil, the power to assist good, and the power to discriminate. So those are powers that we have to grow and learn to work with. The painting behind me is, I hope this message was interesting for you. The painting behind me is a symbolic painting about the architects of creation. It is the master architect, the architect of the master universe. And it represents the great spiral of creation. And the first architects who have seniority is when you get to paradise, is the personality that becomes your ward until you find God. And so it is the first architect, is the architect of paradise. And there is three architects of the central universe, the seven architects of the super universe, and then after that there is the architects of the transcendental universes of the future. For the cosmos is a very young and in relationship to what it will become eventually. I also wanted to show another painting. It is called Galactic Alignment. It's from 2012. It is the alignment with the galactic center, with our own central sun. And here, which is like, it is funny, it looks like France, and because I was in France in 2012, and so there is this alignment. I'll show you a little bit of the details. Those are very beautiful paintings. I'm looking forward to be able to present them. I hope you will be able to come and see them in person when I will show them. I hope I will be able to show them around the world. And so that is all in the works. And I'm going to finish with a little song. It's a song about love, unity, brotherhood, about being able to help one another and to be aware and to be fraternal. It goes like this. There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying when it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can pretend, we can go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We are all part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is all we need. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own life. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me. Send them your heart, so they'll know that someone cares, and their life will be stronger and free, as God has shown us by turning stone to bread. And so we must all lend a helping hand. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making, we're saving our own life. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me. When you're down and out, there seems no hope at all. But if you just believe, there's no way we can fall. Well, let's realize that change can only come when we stand together as one. We are the world, we are the children, we are the ones who make a brighter day, so let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own life. It's true, we'll make a brighter day, just you and me. Well, thank you very much. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you soon. Namaste.